One, Tom Stoltman absolutely leading the charge. Kevin Ferres, you know, a little way behind, but still in a good position going into day 3. Gabriel Rahun with a good sort of charge going on, really looking to get into that stone off. And Ivor Small-Stellis, little way back, but still within touching distance of getting into that stone off. Next up, we've got Group 2, Mitchell Hooper, absolutely smashing his debut of World's Strongest Man. He's been incredible the whole way through so far, looking really impressive, and you know, he's showing that the hype's real. He's an amazing athlete. Bobby Thompson sitting in second at the moment. Probably the shock of the tournament, Brian Shaw sitting in 3rd place in his group. I think most people would have expected him to be winning that group, and then the other guys all battling for 2nd, 3rd place to get into the stone off. But you know, he's going to have to do it the hard way. But still, he's again, Brian's Brian, and he's still within touching distance of making that final. Next up, we've got Group 3, Alexei Novikov showing why he's the 2020 World's Strongest Man, putting in amazing performances the whole way through so far, leading the group. Adam Bishop a little way back, but still in a good position to secure a spot in that stone off. Trey Mitchell as well. I mean, you know, I'm sure Adam will be hoping he's not against Trey in the stone off, but you know, they need to put in a good performance on the wrecking ball. And Rob Kearney, after that great car walk yesterday morning, within touching distance as well. So we've got an exciting day, an exciting battle between those 3 to see who goes into the stone off. Group 4, Martins, you know, really leading the charge, has been so impressive, so consistent the whole way through. Really looking impressive and looking like he's in tip-top shape. 2nd place, Maxime Boudreau, an amazing effort on the log yesterday. He really put himself back into contention. Maxime came 3rd at World's Strongest Man last year, so we know he's a quality athlete. And, you know, let's see how today goes for him. And the new guy, Pavlo Kordiaka, I mean, I didn't know a lot about him until I saw him compete at Europe's Strongest Man, and he was really impressive there, and he's showing why he deserves his spot here, and it's fantastic to see him doing well. He's a real good guy, great athlete as well. It'd be great to see him in a stone off against either Maxime or Gav. You know, they're both fantastic athletes as well. Group 5, Luke Stoltman, you know, following in his younger brother's footsteps and absolutely leading the charge in that group. I mean, Luke's been absolutely dominant. He's looked so impressive the whole way through. You know, he really does look like he's coming in great shape, and he's here to win the title, try and keep World's Strongest Man title in the family. 2nd place, I4 Ingolfsson Melsted. Again, he's performing really well, showing why he was a finalist last year. And then Sean Stephen Carabooth, Coco, in 3rd place at the moment. But Kelvin's not a million miles behind. He's got a good grip, so I expect him to do well on the wrecking ball. And obviously, I mean, Kelvin is a tall guy. If he gets into the stone off, he's got a great chance of getting through. Next up, let's take a look from our sponsors, the Beard Struggle.
This is Eddie the Beast Hall. We asked him what he'd really like for Father's Day.
What I really want for Father's Day, the most important thing to have around me is family. Being a father, a friend, these are the best gifts a man can get. There's one thing I'd really like for Father's Day. Thanks, buddy. Have a nice day, man.
The Father's Day gift set.
Now this is the perfect Father's Day gift. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Order online now from thebeardstruggle.com.
So if you want to get 20% off of the Beard Struggle, scan the QR code on the screen and it'll get you a discount. Earlier on we did a VIP giveaway. I managed to drag Colin in, so check out what happened.
You guys are live.
Sorry, we were just applying our Crash moisturising cream by the Skin Struggle, also by the Beard Struggle as well, same company.
It's a cream and hydrate.
Yeah.
It's in many ways it's a nighttime thing. I use it for. I find it particularly good for that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, someone once said to me, you can't polish a turd, but you can throw glitter on it. So this is the way of doing it. You know, I'm fighting against age and everything, but you know, doing my best with it.
Oh, genius, Terry. I'm going to give you a fist bump for that one. That was good. Right. Well, this is just one of the many products that they do, and this is a favourite of mine because I sadly don't really have much of a beard, which is an embarrassment for me.
Yeah.
That's about a day's growth.
it's a few, to be fair, it's a few. But, you know, I do have quite a few wrinkles getting in my older age. So I need a bit more of that, yeah.
I'll take away. Use as you wish. Use as you wish. I tell you what we have, though, Terry, is we have some prizes to give away. You got it. Oh, my goodness me. My beautiful assistant here, thank you. I was going to get that one in no matter what. Right, where do we begin, Terry? Because this is, could you mind just holding the assistant? Thank you. Thank you. She's a very senior television producer, but she's good for a laugh. Now look at this, folks. Oh. You know the noises. You know the noises. Oh yes. Look at that. To be honest, I don't have a beard, so all I've done is smell them, and they smell delicious.
Yep.
Terry, have you ever tried beard struggle stuff?
I haven't actually, but I have got some back in my room to try. My beard does still need a little bit of work, to be fair.
Now look at these, right? Look at some of these magnificent names. The Viking Storm. Now this is obviously for the more hirsute man, the more macho man, I imagine. What else we got in here? We got Vanner's Wisdom. That's for the wiser, probably the more like, you know, tighter tash look, I imagine. Anyway, let's carry on.
Yeah, let's do the competition.
Who would like to win this? Yeah! Yeah! Maybe you could give it away to your fella, you know, whatever. Or fellas can give it away to fellas too. That's more than acceptable these days, absolutely. So this is called, to be exact, this is called, the sample kit. It is literally called the sample kit. Is it? He's the owner, so, you know, I can't get in trouble here. This is fantastic. And the way you're going to win this, folks, is through a quiz. Who knows anything about Strongman? Yeah! Yeah, okay. What we're going to do is we're going to ask one question. If you think you know it, you can raise your hand. If we come to you and you get it wrong, we eject you off the side here. No, I'm joking. We'll go for the hairiest first. That's how we're going to, I know it's a bit, I don't know, hairiest, I don't know. But anyway, if you know the answer, okay, are you ready? The question is...
Hang on, there's 3 answers. We only need 1 from each of you, so we can do 3 giveaways. There's 3 countries here being represented for the first time. If you could just give us 1 at a time, you know, don't give us all 3.
Hands up. Hands up if you know a country. 3 giveaways. You are indeed generous, sir. There we go. All right. For the beer struggles, you'll get a shot at 3. The first one will get to pick which one they want. What are our other items we're giving away? What a chance to sell them. Here we are, sell them in. This is known as, what are our other items?
Day like a tonic, and I did 5 plain.
A day tonic. I can see how long, this is like a test so you can hold their arm up in the air longest. Wild Felix. And then a Defy detoxifying clay cleansing bar. It doesn't get any better than this, folks. So, we're going to go to the first person. Do you know what? I'm feeling guilty about the whole hairy thing. I'm going to go to a lady first.
We should always go ladies first.
We should always go ladies first. Should we choose this magnificently dressed lady here? Madam, what is your name?
Julia.
Julia, my mum's called Julia. What a great name. Where are you from?
United Kingdom.
United Kingdom. My mum's from the United Kingdom, funnily enough. Where?
A little village between Coventry and Leicester, Balkington.
Okay. My mum's a Geordie, but there we are. Excuse me, there's some pollen up here. Right, are you ready to give 1 country for a debutante at World's Strongest Man, a new competitor, or a new country, the first time country we've seen, I should really say. Who is it?
I'm going to go for Chile.
Chile. Do we have Chile?
Yep.
Manuel Angulo, an absolute rock star strongman from Chile. So you're going to have a choice of 3 products. We'll move that one out of the way. Which one would you like to go for first? Don't miss any of the action right here, I'll tell you. You're going to go for the sample kit. I would go for the sample kit too.
I would have gone for the sample
It has a real feeling of expensive quality, so I would go for that one. Now, these are, but don't get caught up in size, I always say. To my wife. Anyway. Right, second country. Do we have a second country? Let's go out and out, crazy, beardy mad. Let's go for you, sir. You're the hairiest dude here. I can't see anyone hairier than you. I even know who he is. He's Romark's dad. Come on, old man. Go on then, give me another country.
Bosnia.
Oh, is that half an answer? Can you say the second half of the country's name?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
whatever you just said.
It was like you threw
That-
your
that
voice
was
over there.
ventriloquism. That was in my Luke
Bosnia and Herzegovina. Yeah.
I think we can accept that, yeah.
Luke Stoltman voice.
Saved by the man over there. What would you like, sir? Do you want the Defy detoxifying cleansing bar? It looks like you need it, I think, you know.
Wait, what's the other choice?
Bit harsh.
Liquid tonic.
Liquid tonic. Yeah, probably go with a little gin. No, I'm joking. Sorry. There we go. What are you going to go for?
The liquid tonic.
The liquid tonic! He's gone for the liquid tonic. Therefore, defying all odds, the Defy. This is the one I would have gone for. It is the detoxifying clay cleansing bar. It's the secret to my skin.
Yep. Right.
Our
so-
final winner, or
Yep,
maybe winner.
We've got one more answer. Who are we going to go to? Shall we go to the young guy over there, over the back? No,
Has he got a
you.
beard?
Yep. He hasn't got a beard, but this is a soap, so that's
He's
perfect.
working on the beard.
Right. So what's your answer then?
Greenland.
And that's a winner. We've got a
Greenland.
winner.
What's your name?
Joe.
Joe.
Nance. Joe Nance.
Okay, and where are you from, Joe?
Orange County.
From Orange County, like LA, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. How old are you?
I'm 15.
You shaving yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Past couple of days, but yeah.
You're still hairier than me. Well done,
Yeah,
son.
well,
Here we go. Right.
congratulations
You
anyway.
get the Defy detoxifying clay cleansing bar.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All from the Beard Struggle, Terry.
Yeah,
Great products.
Massive thank you to the Beard Struggle.
Absolutely.
Supported the show, and we couldn't have done it without him. So
Here
thank
he
you very
is.
much.
Thank you, Faisal. Thank you, sir. Great man. Great stuff. Thank you, folks.
Okay, so you can probably see behind me they're setting up the stone off, but first we've got to talk about the wrecking ball hold results. So, Group 1, we had Kevin Ferres winning that event. Did fantastic, did what he needed to do, more than what he needed to do to secure his spot. Obviously Tom was in a big lead in that group, but Kevin was just wanting to secure that second place to make sure he gets into the stone off. Great performance there from Andy Black. Good to see Andy. Got in last minute as a reserve due to Parr's injury, not being able to compete. Fantastic to see him do well on an event. And Gabriel Raoum doing fantastically well and securing his spot in the stone off. We caught up with Kevin Ferres earlier. Winner of the Wrecking Ball hold, Mr. Kevin Ferres. So Kevin, obviously you were in a good spot going into this. You were in second place, looking like you was going to go into the stone off. You didn't need to win that event, but you still went out and did it. Do you feel like that was to sort of assert your authority a little bit, or just to secure that second place? You know, so you go second on the Atlas stones in the stone off.
I think it was just like a mental, like a good mental spot. You know, building into going into stones. I knew winning that event would give me that confidence, carrying on into stones. So, yeah, I went and got the job done and feeling really good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're a good stone lifter. You just missed out last year. The year before you were in the final. I'm sure you're coming back to try and make amends from last year, obviously. I mean, you're one of the smaller guys here. How does it feel sort of competing against these absolute giants? You know, do you feel like you have the edge when it comes to the speed events and things like that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everyone's asking me when I'm going to break 300, and I don't think my frame's ready for that. Obviously, speed and agility is my number one. But my static strength's going up and weight's staying the same, so I'll take it.
I think probably another thing we should probably touch on is you've got a lot more you've got a lot of mental strength as well, not just the physical, which, you know, is probably something that really pushes you through as well.
Absolutely, yeah. My mental game has really stepped it up since last year. I've really focused on, meditation and really, digging in and finding that sweet spot. So
yeah, I mean, you definitely look really focused this year. It's great to see you getting into the stone off. Hopefully, see you in the final, and we can see you push on and hopefully crack that top 5 this year.
Absolutely, that's the goal.
Definitely, mate. Well done. Well done. So no real surprise in Group 2. Mitchell Hooper going out there and just taking it easy. He's got such a commanding lead. He didn't really need to do anything on that event to secure his win in the group. So he's straight through to the final without having to do the stone off. But also no surprise there, Mark Felix setting a new world record. Obviously it's a new event and absolutely destroying the event, making it look like child's play. I mean, Mark's known for his tremendous grip. He's got the most humongous hands you've ever seen, and you know, great performance from Mark, but not unexpected. Probably the only surprise there, you know, perhaps people wouldn't have been expecting. Bobby Thompson in second and Brian Shaw down in third place. I mean, probably most people would have expected that to be the other way round, but that secures them both a spot in the stone off. So it'll be Bobby Thompson versus Brian Shaw in that group. I mean, I would say that, you know, the odds favour Brian just a little bit, but we've only ever had one person in all the years we've been doing the stone off go from third place and jump into the second place spot on the stone. So Brian's really got his work cut out, and you know, it's quite surprising almost to see Brian in that position, but we caught up with Brian earlier. Okay, so I'm here with one of the all-time greats of World's Strongest Man, 4-time champion Brian Shaw. Brian, you're in the stone off. It's not a position you've ever been in before. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's thank you guys. It's a different position, you know. I mean, let's call it what it is. I've never been there before, and I've won my group for I don't know how many years in a row, 12 or something. Yep. So this is different, man. But in all fairness, I said last year, I said I would have liked to have put the tacky on and felt the stones before the final, and I always used to do that in the groups, and you know this about me. Yep. Like even when I had my group one and we were doing the stones, I would always tacky up, do 1 or 2 stones just to get a feel of them. So today I kind of get that. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise that I'm going to be in that position now. I get to feel the stones, the tacky setup with the weather here, and dial it in. I'm going to take it as an advantage instead of a disadvantage. Of course, I have to execute, you know, and earn my spot in the final, but I got to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, without me being rude, obviously it's not been the competition perhaps you would have hoped for up to this point.
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously if you go out, put on a good performance on the stones, you can perhaps carry that momentum into the final and keep pushing on from there. I always sort of used to think that sometimes it's a good thing to sort of perform well towards the end of the heat because you keep that momentum going almost. So sometimes you can get a little bit stale if you've already made the final.
Yeah, yeah. The events are very different in the final, very, very different than the qualifier this year. And you know how I am. I typically train harder on the final events, and you know the qualifiers played out differently than I had thought. But you know sometimes you get in these positions in strongman, and anything can happen. And you know at the end of the day, the most important thing is to earn that spot. And then I can put the training that I did for those events in the final on display. And you know it's kind of a different contest in the final. It's a big, strong. You know there's some different events in the final that are very fitting to me. It's a good lineup of events, very similar to 2015, you know, back then, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've since this contest got announced, I've been looking forward to the final events, not so much the qualifier. So you know, it is what it is, and you know, as you know, once the qualifiers are done, they're done, and the finals where it's at. But I've got to earn my spot still. We got to get through the stone off, so I'm going to get back, eat, and focus on that, and then go execute.
Well, I mean, I've got to say, is that from a neutral's point of view, I'm excited to see you do the stone off actually, because I think people sometimes forget how much of a good stone lifter you are. So looking forward to seeing you in the stone off against Bobby. Hope it goes well for you, mate, and yeah, I hope you have a great battle between the two of you.
It'll be good, man. Absolutely. Thank you, brother.
Well done, mate. Well done. Thank you, guys. Next up, we've got Group 3 on the wrecking ball hold. I mean, this is something I absolutely love about strongman, and perhaps people don't really sort of pay that much attention to. Obviously, Mika and Gregors have perhaps not performed the best on every event. You know, they've not been the absolute sort of runaway guys, but they've come in. It's a slightly different event. They've got obviously better strengths and, you know, different strengths and weaknesses. They both come in second and third on that event, which is fantastic to see. So they still get their moment of glory, which is absolutely brilliant. I mean, obviously, Trey doing amazingly well there. He's not always known for his grip. He's actually, a few people have questioned it in the past on farmers' walks, things like that, said his grip's not that great. We all know his stone lifting ability, but, you know, he obviously really wanted that second place in the group, you know, because like I said earlier about the third place is not normally making it through. We know Trey's a great stone lifter, but Adam Bishop has done enough to secure his spot in that position as well. So, you know, Adam's a great stone lifter as well. Should be a hell of a battle between the two of them, but Trey's done everything to put himself in the best position possible there. We caught up with Trey earlier. Okay, so I'm here with the winner of the wrecking ball hold in Group 3, Mr. Trey Mitchell. An amazing performance there. I don't think anyone was quite expecting that. That was fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much, Terry. Yeah, I was a little surprised myself, being able to hold it on for a full 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, for you, going into the stone off, you've always got a great chance of making the final, no matter who you're against. Going against Adam Bishop, are you feeling confident?
I gotta stay confident, no matter what. He's a good lifter on stones, so we might have a repeat of 2019.
Yeah, I mean, I think any strongman fan remembers back to your stone off against Alexi in 2019. It was absolutely incredible, and you came through that. So it's going to be a great battle between the two of you. I'm really excited to see it, and congratulations on getting into the stone off, and good luck for it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Terry.
Well done, mate. Fantastic. Good job, mate. Really good job. Well done.
Thanks, Terry.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, and now we've got the Group 4 results on the Wrecking Ball hold. Obviously, Shane Flowers dropped out of this group, so there's only 5 of them going. Maxime Boudreau cementing his place in the stone off. He's really come good the last 2 events, and it's great to see. Perhaps didn't have the start that he would have hoped for. Like I said, 3rd place last year. You'd expect him to be one of the favourites, but he really come good towards the end. Got himself in the stone off against Pavlo Cordiaca. Again, another fantastic performance from him. He's been really consistent. Pavlo, he's a young guy. He's new on this level. I mean, he's really proved he deserves his spot there, and he has got a great chance of getting through. That should be a great battle between the 2 of them as well. Maxime and Pavlo are both fantastic stone lifters, so that could be a hell of a duel between the 2 of them as well. But, the man of the moment, Martins Lysis, obviously securing his spot in the final in 1st place. Martins is there's a reason why he's former world's strongest man. Absolutely fantastic guy, so consistent across all events. We caught up with Martin earlier. Martins. Okay, so I'm here with the winner of Group 4, Martins Lysis.
Yeah!
I must say, you looked absolutely fantastic through the whole show.
Thank you.
Beard's looking magnificent as well.
Yeah.
No, honestly, mate, you've done a fantastic job. You've looked consistent through all the events. Another good performance there when you didn't really need to. What was the thought process behind still going for it on that event a little bit?
It was just in case someone made a mistake in calculating the points. I just wanted to be triple sure I was going.
No, mate, you looked fantastic through the whole show. Obviously, we talked a little bit about it the other day. You didn't get a chance to defend your title, so do you see this as like your, coming back to defend your World's Strongest Man title?
Absolutely, yeah. It's been out for a while, and I was starting to worry that I might have to retire, but then through a lot of physical therapy and a lot of stem cells and just patience and hard work, finally got my strength back, finally got my body back, confidence, and I'm here to make a splash.
I mean, all of us, as strongman fans are so pleased to see you back. Obviously, we all know what a quality athlete you are. The show really missed you the last couple of years. It's great to have you back, and I wish you the best of luck for the final.
Thank you, brother. So good to be back.
Well done, mate. Congratulations. Good
Thank
job.
you.
No, you've done really
Thank you
well.
so
mate.
much, sir.
Really well. So we've got the Group 5 results now. Kelvin de Ruyter winning that event. Fantastic effort from Kelvin. He's a big, tall man. He's got big hands, good grip. He's known for having a good grip, so no real surprise there. Fantastic effort from himself. Evan Singleton in 2nd place. Unfortunately, missing that event for him has, really cost him. He's not really been in a position to push to get into that stone off, just because a completely missing event just puts you at too much of a disadvantage against guys of this caliber. If he was against a sort of lesser caliber athlete, maybe he would have been able to still make it into the stone off, but unfortunately, just wasn't quite enough by completely skipping one event and also having a bad performance on the loading race due to having he's anaphylactic shock he went into, so yeah, an allergic reaction. But E4 coming in 3rd place, securing a spot in the stone off, last year's finalist. I think he's someone that doesn't really get the credit perhaps he deserves. He's a great strong man, he's a good all-round guy, and pleased to see him in the stone off. And on debut, Jean Steven Caraboof, Coco, he's got himself in the stone off as well. There's never been a Frenchman in the final of World's Strongest Man, so let's see if he can do it. We caught up with Coco after the Wrecking Ball. Okay, so I'm here with Coco. In his first World's Strongest Man, he's made it into the stone off. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing, My goal was to make it to the stone off, and then afterwards see how it goes.
So I mean, obviously on debut, you know, you come in probably with not too many expectations, just see how it goes. But to get into the stone off against IFOR, who's a finalist from last year, it must feel good.
It does feel good, you know. When I came here for the first time a few days ago, I was scared, and you know, I didn't get to know. Obviously, I didn't know much of all about the athletes. I only knew a few names that I competed in the past. That's why the first event was pretty daunting, you know, because we don't know much about anyone else. Once the first event was done, we were all relaxed, and we became like a brotherhood afterwards.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fantastic to see you here, and obviously France being represented for the first time in a long time is fantastic as well. I mean, what are your expectations in terms of going up against IFOR? You know, I know he's a tough stone lifter. Can you beat him?
Well, to be honest with you, I've never seen him do stones. I haven't checked him out on his social media. So if everyone says he's a good stone lifter, well, I'll be very pleased to be against him because I love stones, and I want to see what I can do against him. And if I go through, I go through.
Probably not knowing much about him is a good thing, you know, because you can just focus on yourself and focus on the job that you can do and not worry about what he can do.
Yeah, I usually don't. You know, I stick to myself. I respect all the competitors. I know they're all strong. That's what they hear. But I don't, you know, go through their social media to check out everything about them. I just get to know them on the day and see what they're doing. Because, you know, some people will have a bad day, others a good day. So it's hard to predict everything.
Well, you've performed fantastically well all through the competition. That's what's got you in that position. I wish you the best of luck for the stone off, and hopefully we'll see you in the final.
Sounds good, Terry.
First Frenchman ever.
Thanks, Terry. My pleasure.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Perfect, mate. Thank you
Thanks.
very much. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Okay, so this year at World's Strongest Man, we've got a fantastic mixture of events. We've got events testing all different areas of being strong. My personal favourite was always the truck pull. Was always an event, or plane pull. Always an event I did well on. Always one that I knew that I was going to be scoring big points on no matter who I was against. We caught up earlier with the guys to find out what their favourite event is.
It's very hard for me to pick my favorite strongman event.
One of my favorite strongman events is the Hercules Hole because it's a grip event and I have a very strong grip.
Maybe Atlas Stones or truck pull.
Typically, I'm more of a fan of the old school strongman stuff, especially the stuff I grew up watching.
Medley, because in those events, medley, I can run fast and I know I'm strong.
Atlas Stones, because it's just a full body, you know, test of strength.
Favorite event in this World's Strongest Man is Atlas Stone and Joker. I love.
My favourite strongman event's probably the deadlift. It's something that's always come naturally to me.
Favorite strongman event is yoke. I'm very fast for my size. It's an event that I can just snap into after months of not training it.
I win the triple every competition, that's why I like it.
My favourite strongman event is a long press because I'm the best in the world at it.
So we've had a fantastic competition so far. There's been so many close battles, so many backwards and forwards in the groups and events, but we've still got, as far as the athletes are concerned, the dreaded, but from a fan's point of view, probably the most exciting event of the heat, the Atlas Stone Off. We caught up with Colin earlier in the Boneyard to have a chat about it.
Stone Off.
So how's it been done this year? Because there's been a few different ways it's been done over the last few years. Somewhere it's one stone backwards and forwards, somewhere it's a stone run. Last year we did a stone run but against each other. Is that how it's going again?
So this year we got 10 stones.
Yeah.
I'm joking. No, we only got 6 stones now. It's not that brutal. 6 stones, they're going to get heavier and heavier. And if you're in first place after 5 events, so the Wrecking Ball, you will go through to the final. And if you're in second and third, let's say you're in third, the stone will start on your side. That's your handicap, as it were, for this start. I wait for you to put the stone over. We start on the lightest stone. Whistle goes, he's got 20 seconds to put it over. It's like hot potato. I chuck it back, hot potato's yours. Once we've both done the first stone, we move on to the second stone, and up and up and up. The last stone is 200 kilos this year.
And then they'll just go backwards and forwards.
Backwards and forwards. It's 440 pounds. And I make a note of the weight there because it is going to be heavier at the start.
Yeah.
The first 2 stones will be heavier.
So we
the last 2 stones will be lighter than last year.
We started at what weight? 140?
140 and went to 210.
And this year it starts at 150.
150. What we got? 150, 160 instead of 140, 150.
Yeah.
And then we do another 160, And instead of going, previously we were 190, 210, we're gonna go 180, 200. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but I think it's fair to say, especially the circumference, that it was jumping to a really big circumference at 210.
That 210 stone, I've tried to lift it a few times and it is enormous.
It's a daddy.
That's the thing I think a lot of people don't always consider with stones. It's not just the weight you're lifting, it's obviously the size of the stones are getting bigger. So sometimes you go to different competitions, the stones are the same weights, but they're slightly smaller. It makes them a lot easier.
Yeah,
the 210 here is massive, so it is very tough lift.
So, you know, how big are your stones?
Yeah.
That's what we're going to find out. But yeah, whoever wins that will then be the second guy to make it to the final. 2 men from each heat, 5 heats, 10 men in the final.
Is this the height of the bar?
Do you know what? It's going to be 125. So that looks a touch
maybe a bit
high. I think that feels about 140, doesn't it? Thinking of my daughter, who's about 140. She's probably about that height. So yeah, it's probably going to be more like this height.
Yeah.
It would be too much to do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what? One thing I don't like, sorry, taller guy, but I don't like shorter guys getting punished.
No, I actually.
In such a crucial moment as this, you shouldn't be punished for being shorter. It should be a fair challenge.
Who's the strongest?
Who's the strongest?
Yeah, I actually agree, because I think being taller and shorter have advantages and disadvantages on every event. But when it's making it so a guy can't physically do the event because they're not tall enough, then it becomes a different thing.
At this height, right, the center of a stone, I'm 6'2".
Yeah.
The center of a big stone is up here.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a height to get it over.
Yeah.
And that's only 140. So, you know, 125 down here, you know, even if you're 6 foot, which is pretty much the lowest end, maybe 5'11", Rob Kearney, something like that, you know, they'll have no problem popping it over. And the strongest man will win.
Yeah, and the tall guys still have the advantage on the stones, in my opinion, anyway, because generally they have.
Of course they do. They've got longer arms, but I mean, at some point, you know, height doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
But it's always going to matter because you're in the open heavyweight category, as it were. This is the world's strongest man. He's always going to be a giant. It just suits a giant, right?
But then you have other events, perhaps like the log press and things like that, with the shorter arms. There's an advantage on that, so it does balance itself out.
Yeah.
But I do agree that this is the best format. You know, with the really high platforms, it did put the short guys at too much of a disadvantage.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say is it's hot. I mean, this is almost untouchably hot already.
Yeah.
It's going to be 5 or 6 degrees Celsius, which is like another 20 degrees Fahrenheit hotter on the day.
Yeah.
From what we understand. So things like tacky, they wear tacky on their arms. That is allowed. It's the only event this will be allowed in.
Yeah.
The rest is all chalk. And that's a tricky one to get right. I mean, tacky's a fine art, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I would have been bringing at least 3 different brands, blends of tacky for sort of cooler weather, a medium and a hot weather. I perhaps would even try and look at getting an even hotter grade if possible.
How many does Brian have?
Brian would probably have at least 5, genuinely.
Here?
Here. He will be covering every base. You know what Brian's like. He's an absolute professional in terms of the way he conducts himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'd be a few of the guys. Obviously, Brian was the first one to really start doing things like that, and now a lot of the guys have sort of followed suit. And you're just trying to give yourself every opportunity to do as well as you can, and they're covering every base. And I'm sure he will have put himself in a position where he will have the best tacky for the day.
Of course he will.
And
here's a question for you.
Yeah.
If Brian Shaw wins a 5th title, is he the greatest of all time? Now, I know you and Laws discussed that the other day.
Yeah.
I was watching it and I was screaming at you two. I wanted to get engaged in that. I was like, of course he is. How can he not be? How can he not be? And I was there. Pudzianowski, I think I oversaw at least 4 of his titles.
Yeah.
And I know Pudzianowski was magnificent. I mean, he was one of the greatest of all time. Currently, arguably the greatest of all time, still because of his 5 titles. But I think Brian will blow him out of the water if he does it, and he'll do it at the oldest age.
Yeah.
And he's got a tough group to get through as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if Brian is Brian of old, if, you know, he has a lot of business stuff going on, you know, a family now, things like that, if he is even 95% of what he used to be, he's got a great chance of winning. And, you know,
But there's enough good guys now who will pick him off if he isn't.
Yeah, I'll tell you 100%.
Do you think he'd be the thing? I mean, he could slip. He could slip and be the first time he never makes the final.
Yeah.
There's enough good guys in this group. It's tight.
It's very possible, but I actually think that, yes, in my opinion, if he wins the 5th title, I think we can pretty safely say he goes
the
down
GOAT.
as the greatest world's strongest man competitor of all time.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
And has he got the most in a rows at the final?
Yes, like 13.
He got 13.
That's
used to be his record.
it was
9 in a row.
Yeah, but it was. We were actually talking about it. Brian hasn't not won the group since 2009. 2009,
My God, really?
He was second in his group behind Zadrunas, and they were first and
But he
third
came third, didn't he?
Yeah, overall, and he's won his group every year since 2010.
For his sake, I hope he does it, because it would put 2022 down on the map as being something very special. It would cap a Michael Jordan career.
Yeah.
Whether he does it, who knows?
He probably deserves that as well, to be fair. The consistency over the years has been incredible. So, yeah, it'd be fantastic to see. But then, there's a lot of good young guys nipping at his heels, and some would say overtaking him.
Little stone off?
Yeah, let's do it.
Whatever. You can have it. It ends on his side, so I win.
So very soon, right behind me here, we're going to be seeing 10 very nervous guys going at it on the stones. I mean, to get through to the final, to a lot of these guys, it means everything. Obviously, the new guys, that's the first step on really sort of proving themselves as a genuine top-class strongman. If you're making top 10 in the world, you know that you're in the absolute elite. It'll springboard some of these guys' careers, making that. They'll get, more shows off the back of it, potential sponsors, things like this. So it means so much to the guys to make the final. Obviously, then you've got the other end of the spectrum, guys like Brian, who you can see behind me. He's expected to make the final. So, there's a lot of pressure on someone like him to come in, deliver on the stones and make it through. But I'm so excited to see how this unfolds, see some of the new guys make it through to the final, see some old faces as well, and I think it's going to be a fantastic battle in every single group. We're going to find out after this event who's in the final that starts on Saturday. I'm Terry Hollands, and this has been Backstage Live, presented by the Beard Struggle. Come back tomorrow, we're going to do a quick recap about who's in the final, what's gone on and everything else, and what happened in the stone off. We're going to preview the final a little bit, and then Saturday we're into the final, which is where, the real hard work starts for some of these guys. Thank you for watching. Cheers.